Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from, and welcome to the Boring Weekly, a community call focused on your favorite project, BoringDAO. My name is Whipper, and I'm a crypto enthusiast and a BoringDAO community volunteer. And today, I'll be your host. We have an exciting call lined up for everyone today, which will be jam-packed with introductions from OGs in the space, insights and product solutions, and future updates from one of the best projects in the DeFi space. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today. A couple of reminders before we get started. Please keep your mic muted unless you're speaking. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand so we can bring you up on stage. Our Q&A section will run at the end of the call, and a quick reminder that we'll be closing the call with a 5,000 Boring token raffle giveaway to one lucky listener. So please stay tuned to the end. On the agenda today, we have team introductions, introduction into BoringDAO, product solutions, project integrations, milestones, and roadmaps, followed by our Q&A section and our raffle. So please sit back and relax. With that, I'd like to kick things off with our team introductions. Let's go one by one. Can you please start us off with an introduction, who you are, and how you got into this space?
Hello everyone, this is Sunny Huang. I am the CMO of BoringDAO. I'm in charge of marketing that includes making marketing roadmap, running the daily promotions, especially the Twitters. Welcome to follow me. I'm joined the business in late 2018 when the market flipped. However, I have always been a small trader. BoringDAO is actually my first project, and I have a strong faith in BoringDAO.
Hello everyone, this is BoringDAO co-founder Anki. Nice to meet you here.
Hi guys, this is Dway. I'm the co-founder of BoringDAO. I'm in charge of marketing, promotions, and the business development. I entered the crypto business in early 2020, right before 12th March 2020, when American stock market circus broke down and BTC really dipped and touched $3,800. The reason why I chose crypto is because the mechanism of Bitcoin always fascinated me, and I strongly believe that the decentralization is the direction that future finance is evolving to.
Hey guys, it's Alan. I'm the founding partner of Nothing Research. You may not hear about us because we are a new fund funded by a group of digital assets market veterans. We are a research-driven venture firm investing unique value proposition in the digital assets marketplace, especially in DeFi, NFT, and Metaverse track. We are now leading the investment in 4 different projects, and obviously, BoringDAO is one of them. And also, we involved in the investment of dozens of projects like XDAI, Oren, EasyFi, InsureDAO, and so on.
Thanks for that, guys. Now, let's get into BoringDAO. Can you please give us an introduction into BoringDAO?
BoringDAO is a one-stop cost-chain service provider. Technologically speaking, we support all types of cost-chain service, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to BSC, Polygon, Near, Harmony, OKChain, etc. Right now, we have 2 major products running, that's oTokens and oPortal. oTokens refers to oBTC, oLTC, or Doge. They are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin packed tokens that can be used on ERC20 chain for yield farming. oPortal is our latest product. oPortal is a tool that connects all blockchains and allows the token follow between chains. We build exclusive bridge for every projects.
For those that may be new to the project, please explain why we need projects like BoringDAO.
As we all know that DeFi has been the major topic for over a year, and different financial applications came out of Ethereum, and people who has invested in DeFi had made massive fortunes now, not only in trading but also from yield farming. However, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Dogecoin's holders did not have the second part of income. So sometimes that makes the holders of these coins feel a bit tilted, and some of my colleagues are Bitcoin miners and they hold a lot of Bitcoins and always hope to join DeFi world by Bitcoin in the safe way. So that's what inspired us to build tunnels, which can allow users mint oTokens with their BTC, LTC, and Dogecoin so that they can participate in DeFi activities. On the other hand, oPortal is the exact tool that farmers are looking for. You guys must have been through scenarios like there's a new farm open up on QuickSwap and you only have asset on ERC20 and BSC. And the only option you really had was selling your asset to USD PAG token, transfer to a Polygon wallet and buy pairs and farm. So it goes without saying that the gas fee would be hundreds of dollars. But now with oPortal, few clips, boom, you're good to go. That's simple.
Let's dive a little deeper. How do oTokens such as oBTC actually operate? Could you walk me through a typical BTC transfer from the main BTC chain to Ethereum?
All right, sure. So let's say that you have one Bitcoin in your BTC wallet and you have connected your wallet to our official website. Click Mint on the navigation slot and select Bitcoin as the minting token, the one as minting amount, and fill in your ERC20 wallet address as the OP return address. And then wait about half an hour and oBTC will appear in your ERC20 wallet. And you can use them for yield farming on such as Curve. And additionally, you will receive Boring as a reward, and which can be pledged in oBTC tunnel and become a pledge provider. In this way, you can farm in our own pool, and the APY is around 90% now, and receive share of minting and burning fee, whenever there is a oBTC has been minted or burned. Or you can just stake Boring in other farms, and for example, you can stake your Boring on Bancor on ERC20 chain, which is also our deepest liquidity pool, or you can stake in KSwap on OK chain, or Doodoo and World Finance on the BSC chain.
That sounds awesome. I mean, 90%, that's just amazing, guys. I hope everyone caught that. Dwayne, maybe we could talk a little bit about the security model. Maybe sort of walk us through how your security model is set up. I'm sure that that's a concern of everyone.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the most scary part because, one BTC worth $40,000 right now. So you guys, this is probably where we shine the most, because we have invented a triple layer protection mechanism, and there are 3 layers of protection for our users. And well, that's a bit tricky and complex. So let me just break down to you one by one. So the first layer is pay to script hash, that's P2SH. For those who are not familiar with P2SH, pay to script hash is a type of script hub key, which allows the spending of Bitcoin based on the satisfaction of the script whose hash is specified within the transaction. A P2SH transaction's inputs were locked using the P2SH script hub key. So it's quite, well, to be frank, is actually unbreakable. And currently we have 3 signers for P2SH, that's Hashcrack, Anchor, and us. For every minting and burning request, the P2SH needs at least 2 of us to approve. In this way, the security can be maintained. And in the future, we will bring Nash equilibrium lock to the system, which means that the tunnel operators would also run nodes rather than just simply pledging in the tunnel and do nothing. So in this way, the tunnel will become even more decentralized. So that's the first layer, and the second layer is based on contracts. So in the tunnel, there are 3 roles: users, tunnel operators, and signers. In this layer, tunnel operators plays a very important role. So whenever there's a new tunnel is being created, people need to pledge enough assets as collateral in order to activate this tunnel, and people who pledge tokens will become the tunnel operators, and they are the second layer of the protection. So our tunnel has a pledge coefficient which varies between 200% to 115%. But like, what is the pledge coefficient, you may ask? So in our tunnel, there is a double pledge module. So that's whenever there is a oBTC minted, users pledge 1 BTC in the tunnel. That's the 100% in the pledge coefficient, and the rest part of the pledged coefficient will be supplied by the tunnel operators as collaterals. So that's a one compensating plan for any black swan event. So let's say there's a black swan event happen, unfortunately, and all the Bitcoin are stolen. Then the collaterals in the tunnel that was pledged by tunnel operators will be paid to people who hold oBTC. But as a tunnel operators or pledge providers, the benefit comes along with the risk, of course. So firstly, you will receive PP token, which can be staked in our yield farm. The APY is 90%, as I mentioned. So that's a stable income. And as the tunnel operators or pledge providers, you would also receive minting fee and burning fee as reward. And that is given in oBTC. So basically, you are receiving BTC as reward. So as far as I know, that's new to the business because you're basically receiving cash. Yeah, and this third layer is insurance protocol and the cover protocol as insurance company. They play the role as insurance company, which is another compensating plan for our users. Yeah, that's pretty much our security module.
I have to say that that's one of the things that I love about BoringDAO. I think for our next topic, we're going to talk a little bit about tBTC and renBTC. But one thing I'd love to stress, I love the idea of this triple layer protection, which I want to say is unique to BoringDAO because I've used all of these different protocols and projects, and I have to say that none of them have this type of layer of security, which in my opinion is super important. And with that, Dwayne, maybe you could talk a little bit about what is your opinion on projects like renBTC and tBTC?
Okay, so now is my time to trash talk other projects. Okay, so my point. Well, I'm not gonna be really like harsh on others, but that's just critically. Let's just critically discussing their project. So to run BTC, their concept is pretty good. Like everyone is running a node, but in reality, they are still in sub-zero stage, and all the keys are under the management of a team called the Great Core. And the team members of Great Core are basically from like the REM team. So personally, I don't think that's a good solution. And well, they have been running for more than 2 years, and they are still in sub-zero stage. So that's you get it, right? And for the tBTC's mechanism is kind of like waste of resource because signers need to pledge so many ETH just so that there are few tBTC can be maintained. Like for example, you need to freeze about 10 BTCs worth of ETH so that there are only 5 tBTC can be maintained. So that's nonsense, right? Yeah, and well, that's pretty much roasted. So I'll stop right here.
No, I agree. Actually, a serious concern that many DeFi users have with renBTC is the lack of decentralization, which you just pointed out, and the amount of renBTC that's actually minted right now in this semi-decentralized state. So I guess what I want to ask is, on a scale from 1 to 100, where 1 is completely centralized and 100 is decentralized, where would you say BoringDAO falls right now? And what is on your roadmap to address decentralization concerns in general going forward?
Thank you, Weeper. I think I'll take this one. I think for the score, I think we are about 80. And I leave 20% for the future development. And our next step is about to get more and more multi-signers in to keep it more and more decentralized and develop a safe mechanism of consensus. I think that's important for the user. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about the amounts that are mintable within your system, like whether they're predetermined or not. I know that one of the biggest criticisms of tBTC has been this like predetermined amount of BTC that has to be brought over. When it comes to BoringDAO, can users deposit any amount that they wish? Are there minimums? Are there maximums? How does it work?
Well, for BTC, to prevent cyber attack, we have a minimum minting amount, which is 0.1 BTC for now. Other than that, users can deposit as many as they want. There's no maximum. You can deposit as many as you want. Yeah, thank you.
That's perfect. So basically, the users have the flexibility that they want to pretty much do anything.
Yes.
So last summer and even the beginning of 2021, we saw some crazy gas costs on Ethereum. I'm wondering if someone can talk about how BoringDAO optimizes its code to minimize overall gas costs when bringing BTC not only onto Ethereum, but other chains in general.
Yes. Because we can do nothing about the general gas fee, but we can. The only thing we can do is keep developing and evolving our code to make sure that the gas cost is getting more and more user friendly. So we have made some major upgrades, and generally speaking, now I think our contract gas fee is very user friendly. Yeah.
When a user deposits or mints oBTC, how many confirmations do they have to wait for on the main BTC chain prior to actually seeing those be minted on the other chain that they're bridging over to?
Yeah, for the on the Bitcoin network side, it is 3 blocks, and we are trying to balance the security and the efficiency. And on the Ethereum side, it is about 10 to 20 blocks. So it's kind of fine. Yeah, thank you.
That's actually pretty impressive. Like, just to make a comparison for those that are listening, renBTC, for example, requires 6 confirmations where Boring allows for 3, which is pretty good. I mean, people who want to participate in DeFi, people want to ape in right away type of thing. So the fact that 3 confirmations, that seems pretty speed efficient for me.
Yeah, so for a decentralized network, it's very efficient.
Right. I know a super hot topic right now in DeFi has been the introductions of the long-awaited L2 solutions. I know that Optimism is pretty much almost there. We're waiting for Arbitrum. We're waiting for ZK Sync. Can you guys give us any insight into which L2s you guys are sort of looking at? Maybe you guys have plans to integrate with one of them. What do you guys see as sort of like the L2 vision for BoringDAO?
Currently, we are working with Polygon. And we supported Polygon for like a month ago. And now we are also speaking to other layer 2 solutions. The idea is to support all major layer 2 solutions. And we are actually want to cross every layer 2 chain to every major chain. So we are also talking to like StarkWare, Arbitrum. Hopefully you can see us in all major 2 major layer 2 solutions next quarter. Yeah.
Can you guys talk a little bit about which chains you primarily support right now? Like, so aside for Ethereum, what other chains do you guys support, and what other chains do you see a lot of movement from BTC main chain over to the other chains that you support?
All right. So currently we support BSC, Polygon, and OK chains, also of course the Ethereum, in our oPortal program. But I think in the future we technically speaking, technologically speaking, we are able to connect all the chains together. So we are kind of like seeking opportunities to work with any projects that is based on other chains. For example, let's say a Near, Harmony, or Avalanche. So that we can add so that we can include these chains to our oPortal program.
That's awesome, Doi. Can you guys talk a little bit about like what can users do with their oBTC once it's minted? Like who have you partnered up with on the Ethereum chain for yield? What can users typically do once they've got their oBTC?
Yeah, so once users get their oBTC, they can farm with their oBTC on Curve or 88 MPH or our own farm and make some lending on the Fortune protocol and Ruler protocol. Oh yeah, that's for now. But in the future, I believe we will create more application scenario for our oTokens. That includes oBTC, Litecoin, and oDodge. Well, and also, to be honest, the original principle of oBTC is just to make BTC programmable and connect it with the smart contract of all the chains. So we are kind of like looking for more opportunity, like for our oBTCs. Yeah.
Awesome. And what sort of mining incentives do you guys currently have for active users wishing to mint oBTC, if any?
Well, I'll take this one. They will get borrowing token for incentives, which is 0.4% now. Like I said, to prevent a cyber attack, we have a minimum amount requirement. So we are giving back users the same amount of borrowing token for incentives. Yeah.
Sounds good. Seems like there's a lot of alpha available here on the table, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could talk a little bit about what other assets aside from Bitcoin can we actually bridge over?
Yeah. For now, we also support Litecoin, Litecoin, and Dodge. And we are planning to have more assets. Technically, we can support any asset with our new product, oPortal. Yeah, and we welcome every project to contact with us to get your tokens crossed. Thank you.
What milestones have BoringDAO crossed that are worthwhile mentioning to our users that are joining us today?
Okay, so right now we have two products, that's two tracks, oPortal and oToken. In oToken track, we have about 2,200 oBTC on the market right now. And that's the fifth largest BTC packed token. And there are 4 BTC packed tokens before us, namely WBTC, HBTC, renBTC, and SBTC from Synthetics. As we all know that the first 3 tokens are really centralized, which means that we are basically the second largest decentralized BTC packed token on the market. And we only have been operating for 9 months. So that's a big achievement, to be honest. Well, I'm pretty proud. And also, we are the first DAO that introduced Litecoin to ERC20. Of course, that couldn't have been done without the support from LTC Foundation. So a big shout out to them. And on our oPortal track, we have connected Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, and OK chains to our oPortal program, and we are seeking opportunities. Well, as I just mentioned, we seek opportunity with any project from Near, Harmony, Solana, and Avalanche, so that we can connect these chains to our oPortal program. And yeah, that'll be all.
Super exciting. What other exciting news or events would you like to share with our community today? Maybe you could talk a little bit about what's happening, what's upcoming.
Yeah, sure. So we are developing 2 more products. That's the first one is Shadow BTC, and we will get to the second product later. So the Shadow BTC is It is really smart that for right now we're minting oBTCs, right? So you go through our tunnel, you will mint your BTC to oBTC. That means that your BTC will leave your wallet into our tunnel, and the tunnel will give you a oBTC, right? So sometimes you think it's still not safe, right? Because the tunnel, we can guarantee you the tunnel is totally safe, but sometimes you just can't be that sure, right? So in this way, so we decided to invent a oBTC, a shadow BTC, so that the worries in the minter's heart will be solved. So shadow BTC, we use some technology to lock the shadow BTC in users' wallet, and at the same time give them a shadow BTC in their ERC20 address, so that they can do the DeFi activities. And in this way, that's much safer, because your BTC never leave your wallet, and you still can use the shadow BTC for the DeFi activities like yield farming. And the second product is that, so we need some background content about it, right? So there are 3 types of cross-chain problems, right? Like scenarios currently. The first one is POW token to EVM chains. And the second scenario is EVM chains to another EVM chains. And the third scenario is native multiple chain tokens crossing between different chains. And we offered oToken as solution to the first type. We offered oPortals as solutions to the second type. So now there's only one type of cross-chain problem that hasn't been solved. But now we offer the solution to it. We will build a bridge that allows USTD to be transferred between different chains. Soon, you will be able to transfer your USTD between ERC20, BSC, and OK chains. So in the future, when oPortal successfully connect with 1inch and the curve, we will just break all the barriers exist between chains, and basically every token of yours can be moved to any chains you wish for. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them.
Yeah, that sounds super exciting. I'd like to switch gears a little bit here. We haven't really. I'd like to bring in our crypto Alan here for a bit. I'm curious, from the advisor's point of view, what made you decide to invest in BoringDAO in such an early stage?
I will answer the first question from the perspective of an investor. First of all, we need to get on the same page that the crypto industry has entered a multi-chain phase. Different chains have merged because the market needs them. This is different from 2019 because in 2019 there were many chains, but they were ghost chain. No people used them, and the volume was very limited. But now all the layer 1 chains like BSC, Polygon, Solana, and layer 2 like Arbitrum, Optimistics, XDAI have a solid liquidity for TVL. But each of them is originally designed isolated. So it goes without saying that liquidity between different chains are very important. Without a safe, low friction, efficient cross-chain solution, it is inconvenient to transfer assets between different chains, and it is how islands of isolation problem form. As I have mentioned, as the multi-chain ecosystems flourish, cross-chain service will become one of the most important infrastructures for sure. There are enormous rules for this topic to grow. Personally, I predict that at least 30% of the assets in the whole crypto field, which is about $1 trillion, have the request on cross-chain. Enough prediction, let's talk about something that is going on. Like I just said, we need a safe so people can trust, low friction so it's affordable, efficient cross-chain service. Referring to these 3 perspectives, I believe BoringDAO is doing very well, and that's the reason why I decided to invest in BoringDAO in the early stage. Enough room to grow and a good economy model.
Yeah, that's all.
Do you want to expand a little bit more on your prediction on the cross-chain track?
Judging by the current TVL and other figures, we can say that the cross-chain track is still in a considerable early stage. But as I have mentioned before, the demands will keep increasing as DeFi ecosystems is expanding and more blockchains are popping out. Besides, we need to reserve rooms for cross-chain derivatives because as far as I know, people have started to explore the possibility of cross-chain finance activities. The combination of DeFi protocol and the cross-chain service has a huge opportunity to create something that is evolutionary. Perhaps it will change the way of liquidity farming. That's why I believe when the right time has come, a cross-chain will become the hit of the crypto world. Unlike the track of DEX and lending in cross-chain field, the alpha seed is still left to take, which means there are a lot of opportunities and imaginations in this track, and every player have a chance to be number one. What if you go through the result that BoringDAO has accomplished, such as oBTC being the first largest BTC-packed token with less than 1 year? It does not take critical thinking for you to understand why I'm so bullish on BoringDAO. Also, you know that BoringDAO team is working on building a cross-chain curve and a new generation BTC cross-chain solution called Shadow BTC. It will greatly improve the narrative of the whole project.
Yeah, I absolutely love this concept of Shadow BTC. Maybe we can chat a little bit about that. But before we get into that, I see that we have quite a few people in the audience. I was curious if anyone in the audience had any questions. We'd love to open up the floor to our Q&A. Please feel free to raise your hand so we can bring you up on stage so that you can ask any question that you might have had about anything that you heard or anything that's upcoming. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to do so I can bring you up on stage. If not, we'll continue the conversation. So I'll just pause here for a quick sec. Dragonly, I've given you permission to come up on stage. Please go ahead. Your mic is muted. Dragonly, we can't hear you, bud. Okay, it looks like Dragonly's experiencing some technical difficulties with his mic. We'll keep you on stage, Dragonly, until you sort that out. If anyone, okay, we have someone here wants to ask a question. Coming in from 0x. Go ahead, ask your question, please.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Hi, this is Scandal from the Chinese community. Thanks for all the sharing of the updates about the BoringDAO. So I got a question regarding the competition. I think this is one of the most asked questions among the Chinese community. So basically, we have seen quite a bit some competitors in the cross-chain asset bridge space and like AnySwap. So as in for like a OKEX chain, that's an AnySwap has already launched their own product and to bridge the BSC and the OEC. So my question would be, considering that functionality-wise, we all pretty much very similar. So what are the edges we have over competitors like AnySwap or any other cross-chain asset bridge that are existing right now? Thanks.
Wei, do you want to take that?
Sorry, my signal was a little bit broken, so I missed the question.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to repeat the question?
Just short and simple, please.
just to summarize, I think I got the question, Dwayne. I think he was asking, what sort of advantages does BoringDAO have over, let's just say, projects like AnySwap, for example? I think that was the gist of the question.
Okay, sorry about that. So comparing with AnySwap, I think I believe that we are cheaper and more user friendly, and of course safer because we have never been stolen before, and I don't think that we will be stolen in the future because as I just mentioned, our triple layer protection mechanism is. I'm proudly to say that it is really unbreakable, to be honest.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anki.
To add on that today, actually, I have a meeting with some project, yeah, and they also have the needs to cross chain. To cross their to have their token cross chain, and they told us that AnySwap has a little minor issue and tech issue. So I think when we push out our oPortal product, the market will realize that what is our difference, and I think DeFi bridges are a section that can be examined by time, that whether a project is good or not. So let's looking forward to our new oPortal product. Yeah, thank you.
Maybe we can chat a little bit about some of those differences. Maybe you guys could talk about, I haven't really used AnySwap, but from what I understand, AnySwap is a project that allows you to swap tokens from, I guess, maybe one chain to another. But what's unique about Boring is that you're still holding on to your BTC. You're just transferring it to another chain and sort of making it smart BTC. And that BTC never really leaves anywhere. And then when you want to come back, you come back. Am I correct in saying that that's a main difference?
Yes, that's one of the function, but we also support that cross any asset to any chain. Yeah, that's our new product, oPortal. It's still under testing. Yeah, and waiting for the audit report.
Awesome. Does anyone else from the audience have a question that they want to ask? Please feel free to do so. We'll continue the conversation. Feel free to raise your hand. Maybe we can take it back to the shadow BTC, or if you're open to, maybe we can talk about one thing that I'd love to see in the DeFi space is, I know that once a lot of L2s sort of pop up, one of the major drawbacks is this 7-day withdraw period. So for example, with Optimism, when users want to withdraw their ETH or whatever token from Optimism back onto the main chain, there's this really long waiting period. Do you guys ever see Boring as acting as a solution to sort of minimize the wait time? Maybe there would be a solution with Boring where they can move assets from layer 1 to layer 2 sort of much faster.
Yeah, actually, we are trying to balance from the security and efficiency, like I said, and there is also a impossible triangle in DeFi sections. And if the data we don't have 7 day, actually you don't need to. I personally don't think it needs to be that long. Maybe 3 days, 24 hours is fine for me. And to lock it for a little long period, the purpose is to prevent the flash loan attack. And we all know that plenty of DeFi projects were attacked by flash loans. So I think until we have a perfect solution in the industry, so we will keep locking those tokens for a while, I think. Yeah, but we can hopefully Shadow BTC can solve this issue.
Yeah, I'm curious to know which L2 solution right now really has you guys stoked. What specifically are you guys really excited about?
Yeah, Polygon. Actually, we are evaluating the ZK and OP solution. Plasma is kind of out of our people's site, so we are still evaluating. But we already worked things out with Polygon. like I said, we are talking to StarkWare and Arbitrum. Yeah.
Dwayne, I'd like to get back. We have a couple of minutes here before we sort of end things off, but maybe you could talk a little bit more about Shadow BTC, because I feel like this is a super, super awesome idea that you guys are going to sort of introduce, which makes you very unique. Let's talk a little bit more about Shadow BTC. So you mentioned that the BTC sort of stays in the user's wallet, but never really leaves. And you guys have a mechanism in which you can lock it. Let's sort of expound a little bit on that.
Yeah, sure. Perhaps I was mumbling a bit because in my head I got a bit confused because this is my first time, so I'm a bit nervous. Okay, so back to the Shadow BTC. Allow me to reintroduce Shadow BTC to you guys. So Shadow BTC allows BTC holders to trade their BTC in DeFi world without actually selling their BTC. So users' BTC will be locked in their wallet. And at the same time, they will receive the same amount of Shadow BTC in their ERC20 wallet, which can be used in any DeFi platforms. And we locked their BTC's UTXO so that their BTC can now be either spent or transferred. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that concept. And if you guys, I mean, not to hold you to anything, but like if you had to estimate when this Shadow BTC might be available for BoringDAO users, what would you say? A couple months, couple weeks? How far out are we from Shadow BTC?
Oh, well, we are kind of like killing our developers because we've been building oPortal, Shadow BTC, and also the stablecoin bridge at the same time. So there are 3 products on the same time. So our tech guys are a little bit running late, but I can guarantee you we will keep pushing and you will see the product probably in about a month. I think so. We're kind of like pointing the gun to our tech guys right now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, listen, the growth that BoringDAO has seen has been so explosive that I don't think anyone doubts that it would be here within a couple of months. I mean, you guys are obviously doing a fantastic job. Yeah, that's super awesome. I want to remind the audience, because I've seen a couple of people pop in, if you did have any questions, please feel free to raise up your hand so we can bring you up on stage. We are nearing towards the end of the call. And just a reminder for those that are around, we are going to have a raffle giveaway towards the end of the call, so please stay tuned. So if you did want to ask something, please go ahead and raise your hand, but we'll continue the conversation here for a couple more minutes. I was curious if you guys could talk about Taproot and whether or not that sort of enhances some of the functionality of some of the things that Boring is doing with BTC on main chain.
Oh, I see Jay Lee would love to speak.
Let's bring Jay Lee up here.
Yeah.
Guys, how are you?
Hi, what's up, man?
I just wanted to say that the tech that you guys are having are fantastic. But I just wanted to ask a little bit on the tokenomics side, if you don't mind. I won't ask about the pricing though. I know how it works. So on the tokenomics side, I have 2 questions. One is that there is a maximum number of boring now, and right now what happens is that in the farm you keep on creating and minting new boring. What happens when you have reached the max cap? Okay, so that's the first question. And the second question here, the first question then is that what happened to the farm? And the second question here is that based on the current farm, everything you keep on minting the new boring, and what is the driving factor that causes that creates the demand for the boring token? Because if we keep on having this minting out, and people will just keep on selling it off. This is, I guess, is related to price, but of course we're not going to talk about that. But so I'm asking on how, from a tokenomics perspective, what is the demand that drives up the value of boring token itself? Thanks.
Yeah. The way
you want to go first, Anki?
You can go first. Yeah, can add what you ever said. Yeah, you can take it.
Cool. Hi. Thank you for your Thank you for your questions. So we are kind of like we will reduce the our borrowing rewards in the futures, but right now we are trying to expand our well, let's say trying to expand our market. So yeah, we're kind of like busy at opening up new pools. Yesterday, we have submitted a proposal for banker to whitelist us and also opened up a pool for us. So yeah, that's the. Anki, do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. First,
Yeah.
JD, very happy to speak to you for the first time. I think you did a very excellent job. Super good job in the community building. And personally, I want to thank you for all the things you have done. I think you did a better job than me, actually. And those are very two good questions. And for the first one, we are already starting to have a curved that non-linear supply curve to like decreasing our supply. And I think we still have a long time that until we explore all our supply. So, but it is a concern, but we can solve this problem in the future. And I also like to hear what you think. Do you have a perfect solution for that issue? But we don't need to worry about it like for a considerably very long time. And for the second question, I think it's also a very good question. And the core team has realized that since the first day of this project, BoringDAO is a project that really depends on the liquidity and frequency of usage. So we are trying to, as you can see, that we are trying to get more and more assets on one hand, and more and more chains on the other hand. And so once we can get enough assets on enough chains, I think the frequency of usage is getting higher and higher. And so in that way, we have a economic value support force for the Boring token. And second thing is, well, user can always get the derivative from the tunnel that they built. And as long as we have more and more tunnel, I think that's another driving force. But like I said, I think you're and you understand the Boring token economy very well. So we are always open to hear good advices. And I think you may pop up with some really good advices. Yeah, I don't know if that's answer your question.
Well, yeah. Just actually, I will carry on with the answering to Lee. So, well, as you must be aware that BoringDAO is quite like a company. So we got a lot of great products that is running and will be running in the future. So you can sometimes think Boring as the stock share of a company. So once the company is operating and making profit, the holder of Boring will be rewarded annually. Let's hope for that. So we're kind of like raising this project like a baby. So when it's just at a infant stage. So we need to keep developing it until it can just walk on its own. So once it's become a grown up, it can just make money by himself, and he will pay off, of course, to the holder of Boring, the true believers. So all of the core members have a really strong faith on Boring. So it's just a matter of time before we get succeeded. And yeah, of course, that'll be all. Thank you. Oh yeah, and just one more thing. For everyone who is listening right now, Lee is like our biggest community contributor, and I love this guy. He's a degen, and he's really cool, and yeah, he's solid, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah, big
guys.
shout out to Lee. Big shout out. Zero X Skanda, I've tried to invite you to come up on stage. I see here that you got your hand raised. You need to accept it so you can come up on stage to ask your question.
Hey guys, I just realized that there's an invitation thing. Okay, cool. Just I think one last question. I think this is regarding the roadmap of BoringDAO. So I just talked to one of the investor of Pendle protocol, and there was one thing very interesting I can share with you guys. So this guy told me that for Pendle, it's very unlikely for everyday traders or everyday DeFi end users to actually grab a good use of Pendle. This is more like a protocol to protocol product. So the success of Pendle is really hanging up on the relationship between Pendle and the other protocols. So I'm just wondering if that's the same case for BoringDAO in the future, and does that really conflict with our market expansion strategy at this moment? If that we are actually like a protocol to protocol kind of things to determine if we are going to be successful. Thanks.
Anki, you want to get this one?
So I'm sorry. Could you summarize your question? Thank you.
So yeah, okay. So my question is BoringDAO's success determined by our relationship with other protocols? So which is in another way, are we a protocol of protocol to protocol kind of a product? So
do you mean that we can easily integrate it with other contracts? Do you mean that?
Yes, correct. So yeah, let's say if it is our like a success determined by the relationship between us and other protocols. So means
Well, I totally get your question. Thank you. So we are actually the cross-chain service providers, right? So we connect chains online. And it is very important that we are able to connect more and more so that we can create more, we can solve more cross-chain problems for as many users as possible. So that is really important for us to keep a good relationship with every project. So that's why we are so welcomed and open for any project that is looking for increasing their volume and liquidity. They can just always come to us, and we will help them to build a bridge. So that's in this way, it means that they will connect it to our oPortal program, and we believe that we will help them to increase their volume and also the liquidity, of course. So we're trying to just connect all the things that together and make this crypto world becomes a whole, So like there won't be a difference between chains. So because everyone is linked, yeah. Anki, carry on, please.
Yes, like the way said, we are always welcome that projects get contact with us to get their token crossed. But I had a meeting today with some project. So I think it really depends on each contract, because we don't have a unified standard of DeFi projects. So even we want to integrate it with those contracts, it is a technical issue that if we can integrate it or not. So, but we have our engineer working on those projects that need our help. So we already did it with Definer, and we are talking to some project today. And I think we are getting more and more as long as their contract is compatible with our contract. And so hopefully we can get enough projects using our bridge. In that way, we can also answer the question that Jay Lee just bring out. We can have enough cash flow to support the value of Boring token. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Enki. Okay, guys, we are going to wrap up the call. Before we do so, I want to thank everyone for coming out. There's obviously some super exciting stuff happening here at Boring. I would highly recommend everyone to stay completely up to date by checking in with the announcements channel, both on Discord, Telegram, Twitter. I'd like to invite everyone to the general chat where we're going to ask our audience to type in once only. I want to stress that out, once only. Type in a number between 1 and 50, and the person who either hits it or gets closest to will win today's raffle giveaway. Dwayne, if you want to send me a message with the number and we'll look out for the winner, that'd be great. So if everyone could hop on to the general channel and just go ahead and put their number, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I have a proposal here that to give a portion of our token to those people who ask a question. Especially Jay Lee, I think you raised two very good questions. So thank you for everything that helped BoringDAO to go better and better. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, actually, you know what? This is a really good proposal because without any questions, adults, Lee is the best guy in the community. So I think Lee deserves this, to be honest. It seems a bit unfair to other audience, but Lee is really helping for our community, and he totally deserves this gift.
Maybe we'll split it half-half. So since we announced it for the audience.
Yeah, let's do that. Half then.
Okay, sounds good. So congratulations, Jay Lee 88. Awesome work with regards to community. Super big shout out. So for everyone else that's listening, please go ahead and put your number between 1 and 50 for your chance to win 2,500 Boring tokens. I'll give you guys 1 minute to do so now. Guys, just a reminder, we're waiting for your responses within the general chat. Please put your number between 1 and 50 for your chance to win 2,500 Boring tokens. I'll be closing the raffle in approximately 25 seconds. Okay, we'll be closing this off, and it looks like we have a winner, and it's Wepter. Congratulations. I'll mark you out in the general chat. Hey guys, thanks for showing up to the room, the Boring Weekly. We had a great call. Hope everyone enjoyed. Please stay up to date with everything that's happening, and we'll catch you guys on the next call. Have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you're checking in from. Once again, my name is Whipper, and we had a great time. Thanks for checking in. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
everybody.
day, guys. Thank you for coming.
A wonderful day.
Yeah, and there's a small announcement. So in the next week, our second episode of Boring Weekly, we will invite banker to the show. So if you guys are interested in who banker are and how bankers works, just come at the same time next Monday, UTC 1 p.m. same room. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the announcement. Totally looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.